The so-called war on women, it continues.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
My role as a woman.
Yeah. The roles of a male and a female in society and other animals, the male typically is the dominant role.
Women were the people in society who said, look, we need to have commitment in order for this whole civilization thing to work out.
We're being hysterical women declaring
feminist outrage.
The group called me sexist.
What if there's a real war on women and it's led by feminists?
You think the same reason why young women on juries are not a good idea. They don't get it.
Feminists blame all social ills, all the problems that we have, really, especially
paying the bills, doing the mortgage, kids, community, crime, education,
marriage and the family, education, jobs, and the like, on the patriarchy.
They're like healthy and hot and running around without a care in the world.
Feminists who criticize women for being full-time moms.
So are the angry feminists proving they're waging a war on men by being so intolerant?
But men are feeling feminized, undervalued, frustrated.
Today's American man is built like a Ken doll, smooth between the legs.
And now we're going to have a fight over women's health. Give me a break.
Right now, as we gather here in another part of the Capitol, there is a hearing. 5 men are testifying on women's health.
I'm not going to get into all the little nitty-gritty details of these things.
With all due respect, I don't know that the average woman of childbearing years out there who relies upon contraception provided by health insurance mandated by the Affordable Care Act, I don't know that she would think that that's just a nitty-gritty detail.
You're asking me.
The fact that they did not allow women on the panel is symbolic of the whole debate as to who was making these decisions about women's health. And
sort of war on women thing, I'm scratching my head because if there was a war on women, I think they won.
The real war today is actually a war on motherhood.
And that's the issue of abortion.
Thousands of people in a -4 wind chill standing to protest babies being killed.
Here's you created this slide. I have no idea what it is. Well, it's the reduction over the course of years in pink. That's the reduction in the breast exams, and the red is the increase in the abortions.
You can take the baby and rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month on the final day, and that's not acceptable.
Well, that is not what happens in these cases, and using that kind of scare rhetoric is just terribly unfortunate.
Does it feel like we're trying to get to the truth here? You just showed me this. I'm happy to look at it. I pulled those numbers directly out of your corporate reports. Oh, excuse me, my lawyers are informing me that the source of this is actually Americans United for Life, which is an anti-abortion group, so I would check your source.
Today is a big day, possibly the biggest day of the year for the anti-abortion movement.
House GOP abruptly drops plan to debate abortion bill after revolt by GOP women and others.
Now, the latest dust-up within the new House Republican caucus comes courtesy of the party's recent troubled electoral history with rape.
This is a group of people that don't want to see any kind of rape exception.
You said locker room banter. You described kissing women without consent, grabbing their genitals. That is sexual assault. You bragged that you have sexually assaulted women. Do you understand that?
No, I didn't say that at all. I don't think you understood what was said. This was locker room talk.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just like, I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the pussy. I can do anything.
It seems to be they withdrew support because he was caught on tape bragging about serial sexual assault. That was not enough for you to withdraw your support, but you do recognize that that's what he was doing, correct?
No, I think this was a locker room talk that happened 10 years ago that he's apologized for. It was a private conversation that was off the record.
These vicious claims about me of inappropriate conduct with women are totally and absolutely false.
I want to push you on these allegations of sexual abuse because you seem to be suggesting this morning in this interview with your description of the first-class cabin and in previous interviews that these women are lying. The real reason that women who have been sexually abused don't come forward to talk about their stories is precisely this, that all too often they are accused of being liars. Are you saying that these women are lying?
By the way, that rape exception reporting to the police is noxious. One activist told me today that the reason you have to have it in is, she said, get perpetrators off the streets, and some women lie about rape.
They will lie, lie, lie.
Record said, if someone off the record in a locker room, this was not in the locker room, it was a workplace, said, I really like raping women, would that be locker room talk?
If there's any elected Republican official who doesn't know what to say, they should call a rape survivor tonight and ask them what they heard when they heard Donald Trump say these words.
It's that feeling of terror and violation that too many women have felt when someone has grabbed them or forced himself on them and they've said no, but he didn't listen.
Well, you know, people always want to try and make that as one of those things. Well, how do you slice this particularly tough sort of ethical question? It seems to me, first of all, from what I understand from doctors, that's really rare. If it's a legitimate rape, the female body has ways to try to shut that whole thing down.
And I think that every single Republican is going to have to answer the question, what did you do the day you saw the tape of this man boasting about grabbing a woman's pussy? Period.
Okay. All right.
Will you please stop saying that word? My daughter is listening.
Yeah,
and
you know what,
Scotty?
you know what, Scotty? Don't tell me you're offended when I say pussy, but you're not offended when Donald Trump says it. I'm not running for president, he is.
Yes. And I said I'm
okay,
offended by
so then
Donald Trump.
don't act outraged and offended when I say the word that you're not offended by the man who you are supporting is saying. That is just absurd.
I said I was offended by him saying that too.
We'll be right back.
But that's what this is really about, right? It's about creating this sort of false gender dichotomy when realistically the gender gap has closed significantly, but they still need something to talk about.
Who's right?
Women are making 77 cents on the dollar for what men are making. So
the median salary for men is greater than women in 99.6% of major occupations.
The question, is there an earnings gap between men and women?
Cut through the BS and tell you the truth, and boy, is that needed today.
Then we will get to the bottom of the truth of that.
And the answer, according to the Census Bureau, is yes.
In 264 out of 265 major occupations, men get paid more than women do.
Carol, you're beautiful, but you have to be honest as well.
Women who choose to work, instead of staying at home to, quote, nurture their children, and instead have the father do that, are imposing a worse future on their children than women who make a different choice, the choice you and your wife made.
Megan, I don't view it as judging. I view it as a statement of fact that
I was sexist.
Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
Okay, I think we should leave it here. Thank you so much for joining me, Congressman.
Some big news here, Megan. Huge news. Actually, the AP now projecting that Donald Trump has won the state of Pennsylvania.
That is the race, frankly. There is no path forward for Hillary Clinton if this.
See, on Tuesday at the White House, we celebrated the International Day of the Girl and Let Girls Learn. And it was a wonderful celebration. It was the last event that I'm going to be doing as First Lady for Let Girls Learn. And I had the pleasure of spending hours talking to some of the most amazing young women you will ever meet, young girls here in the U.S. and all around the world. And we talked about their hopes and their dreams. We talked about their aspirations. See, because many of these girls have faced unthinkable obstacles just to attend school, jeopardizing their personal safety, their freedom, risking the rejection of their families and communities. So I thought it would be important to remind these young women how valuable and precious they are. I wanted them to understand that the measure of any society is how it treats its women and girls. And I told them that they deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. And I told them that they should disregard anyone who demeans or devalues them, and that they should make their voices heard in the world.